So y'all want a story time, huh? Okay, this one is different, I won't lie. But here's how we met.
Dating an older man be like.
Where do you think you at?
In the car.
No, you in the car, not in the damn house laying down.
I love age gap relationships for 3 reasons. Number one, if the woman is, call it 8, 9, 10 years older than the man, there just seems to be this playful energy that I rarely see in other relationships.
I've realized that the younger person that is in a huge age gap relationship, or whatever the case may be, like a motherfucker is like 10 to 15 to 20 years older than them, I've realized the younger person in those relationships a lot of the times tend to end up with somebody older because their parents were literally immature as
Age gap relationships, the pros and the cons. I'm 23 and my husband is 25. I decided to marry someone around my age because the pros just weighed more than the cons. But let's talk about the other side.
Whether you like them or not, age gap relationships have always existed. But now social media has turned it into content. And once something becomes content, the question is no longer why do people do it? Now it's why they feel the need to explain it. Because 2 grown adults have the right to date whoever they choose. But who you choose and the psychology behind it says a lot about who you are as a human being. And we're here to talk about that. But before we get into the video, it's your boy JP. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. Join the Prosper Gang. We're keeping it PG. There is a whole lot of prosperity going on around this mug, you feel me? Without further ado, let's get into the video.
But at the same time, like I said, in me, you know, I'm 56 years old.
Damn. I'm sorry.
Approved. Approved. I don't know. Excellent argument. Approved.
I got a question before we continue on with the video. Y'all tell me, y'all let me know. What is an appropriate, and put it in the comment section and timestamp it so I know you are addressing this part of the video. What is an appropriate age gap for y'all? Y'all let me know. I'm very curious. Everybody has their own standards based off their background and where they grew up at, what part of the country they from, what country they from, because I know some countries may be more lenient than the U.S. I'm in the U.S. and I'm in Texas and the southern part of Texas. So, hey, listen, for me, appropriately, depending on how old you are, and this is just me just setting the stance right now, appropriately for me, I think, okay, I'm 32 right now. I can't date, I'm in a relationship, but if I wasn't, I can't date anybody younger than the age, and that's pushing it 26. If you younger than 26, baby, you too young. We don't even listen to the same music. Really, 26 is probably the youngest I would go, and I'm 32. I feel like, though, after 35, anything upward of 35 is fair game. I think at that point, you're a full-grown adult. If you want to date somebody in their 50s and you 35, do your thing. It's the ones when you like 40-something and you date somebody in their 20s. Can't get with it. I don't know. But y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments before we continue, just so y'all have that in y'all mind going into it.
Dating an older man be like.
Where do you think you at?
in the car.
No, you in the car, not in the damn house laying down.
Babe, let me lay down on you while you drive.
No, get your butt up.
Lift your arm up. And put your arm right there.
Well, let me own her to be her grandpa.
I know you know that.
She's my girlfriend. We're okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now it's official. We have been together for
3 weeks.
3 weeks. Like
And y'all on TikTok. Why y'all on TikTok with that then?
21 days. Our age gap is 21 years.
Within 12 hours of meeting each other we had decided that we were now roommates, fiancés. What do we say?
Look at these comments. OMG, another PDF file.
Boyfriend, roommate, fiance.
It's a little crazy, obviously. It's the way I rationalize.
And no one thinks this dude is just a straight up PDF who needs his hard drive checked immediately. I don't know.
As to myself was that if I were in an arranged marriage somehow and I was arranged to be with Paige, I would be like, oh, cool.
My husband and I have 75-year gap. Oh, okay. She being facetious and stupid. I guess, whatever. Y'all crazy.
Great choice. Thank you. These people
He hasn't
know
been
me well.
born yet. It's crazy.
It sounds so cheesy, and I'm like embarrassed to say that in front of you. Like, oh,
I have
no.
a smaller age gap with
Yeah.
my
You can't
dad.
know that.
I feel like what's cheesy is it feels like one of those like when you.
Quick break. If you're really liking the content, please hit the like and subscribe button. It really does help push the video and my content into the algorithm to help expand the channel. I would really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Let's continue on with the video.
I love age gap relationships for 3 reasons. Number one, if the woman is, call it 8, 9, 10 years older than the man, there just seems to be this playful energy that I rarely see in other relationships. My sister's with a guy that she's 8 or 9 years older. My best friend is with a guy that she's like 8 or 9 years older as well. And they have this dynamic of having so much fun learning about being in relationship together that they're almost curious about the relationship. And so when problems arise, they dive into them rather than trying to place blame. Number two, if a man is, let's say, 10 years older than a woman, or 15 or 20, whatever, maybe speaking from experience here, and it can enact this dynamic where, and I know this is gonna get some backlash, almost like a mentor-mentee type of relationship, where as a guy who's in his early 40s, I really love sharing my experiences and sharing what I've learned, especially being like an insatiable learner for the last 25 years of my life. I love sharing that wisdom with someone and apply it in their life and live a happier, more comfortable, free, thriving life because of it, which also comes with the respect and admiration that any man would want. Reason number 3.
So I want to speak on that. Though I'm glad he said it's going to get some backlash because people definitely going to have something to say. Which I'm not, because I'm not going to do that either. So, but I do want to add this. I noticed though, with these type of relationships, there are a power imbalance. And you would think naturally that power imbalance will make the relationship toxic. But the way they value the power imbalance actually makes their relationship thrive. Now, it's crazy that I don't say that, but that's just how they see it, right? Not for me, but that's just how they see it, right? So the power imbalance is that, like he said, as the man, he feels the excitement of being able to lead her and into the type of woman that maybe she's happy with, or the type of woman that he will be happy being with, right? And by doing that, it creates, like he said, that power dynamic to where form her brain into the type of life that he want for her, and she gets to relax and not have to do the hard mental work. And that's on the woman's side of it, that they get to just drop all the responsibility onto the man, and they can kind of just coast through life, kind of like if you had a father that was like taking care of you or leading you with direction. You don't have to worry about focusing on the direction of your life. Then you got this man that will be the mentor and give you the direction you need to take. So let's start power. Like, and I can understand that, though I don't necessarily agree with it. I can understand it because as an adult, we have a lot going on in life. Even me, like between my videography, my job, and my and YouTube, like you got all these different things pulling you in different directions, and you like, because I'm making these decisions on my own, I don't know if what decisions I'm putting the most energy in is the one that's gonna pay off the most. So when you got somebody in your life that's kind of telling you, hey, no, focus on this. This is the one's gonna get you right. It kind of takes the weight off you and the pressure off of you to where it's like, now you don't have to worry about the options of choosing the different things in life. You can just focus on what they told you to do and just implement the energy into it. So that's kind of, it's like the whole entrepreneur versus 9-to-5 thing, where 9-to-5 workers don't have to worry about the company. They just got to go to work, compared to the entrepreneur has to worry about everything. Same concept, different scenario. But yeah.
Is age gap relationships signify both of the people don't really give a flying what people think about them, what society says is right, or whatever these rules, half your age plus 7 or plus 10, or no one 10 years younger. All of these rules are arbitrary. And whether you're like a friend of mine who's 28 and he's dating a woman who's 40, or you're like me who's 43, and I typically date women that are like late 20s, all that matters underneath that is the energy you have for each other, the polarity you experience, and whether you're in alignment on how you want to lead your life.
And that can be true, but also too, a lot of people get a lot of thrill out of being anti-system, and that's something that people don't think about. Some people, it's not even about them. I'm not saying him in particular. I'm just saying in general. Some people are like this. That it's not even about dating people young. They're just anti-system, and you'll notice what type of people this is because they won't only be anti-system in relationships. They'll be anti-system in everything that they do. Everything has to go against the grain. I don't want to do this because that's what everybody does. I don't want to do this because this is what they typically, and I'm going to be making a video on that about being a devil's advocate, right?
So y'all want a story time, huh? Okay, this one is different, I won't lie. But here's how we met.
I was on a trip, came home, flew into Toronto, went to a little restaurant for breakfast.
I worked there.
And she was my waitress.
Yeah. So he was telling me a little bit about his trip and showed me some pictures. And really, he couldn't stop talking. And I was like, sir, I gotta do my job. But no, we actually had a really good conversation. And there was just that kind of spark. And I was like, wow. Lo and behold, he stays until I finish closing. And he's like, well, I guess I gotta go, girl. I was like, me too. And meanwhile, it's just pouring cats and dogs outside.
She needed to catch a bus.
Yeah.
And I was driving home right past where she lived. So I gave her a ride.
Yeah, and we talked, and
He gave you a ride. Listen, I want y'all that think this is okay. If there's anybody on the planet that think this is okay, please go in to the comment section and explain to me in your brain how you conjured up how this is okay. Please. I want to know so somebody else can back you up because I can't back you up. I don't know what to say at this point. He looked like he got a trust fund with her name on it. That's how old. Let me stop. I ain't gonna do this.
gave him my number.
I don't want to be mean. We're here to
yeah.
we're here to talk psychology
Texting at
here.
First, and then we started talking on the phone.
Yeah.
And the phone conversations turned into like 3 hours long. And
basically.
Here we are.
Yeah. Got a ring on my finger. So.
Yes, I know.
And honestly, it's been great. So
every single man in an age gap relationship is a giant creepy weirdo. There are no exceptions. My dad, weirdo. George Clooney, weirdo. I don't care if he's 100 and she's 80. Big fat giant weirdo. However, every single woman dating an older man, you can't judge her. You can't judge her. She's doing something. She's working on something. Just give her a minute.
What? Oh, we got one of them double standard girlies. You know you gotta find them every once in a while. Every video you're gonna find one that just unrealistically biased. That's crazy. But professional opinion on the age gap. It's no way you said this and you said this is a professional opinion. At this point, I have a PhD in psychology. Because what are you talking about? Lord have mercy. $45 and $28. 17 years apart. Now, y'all not gonna like this. And this is me being a little biased. Now, I don't agree with none of this. I'm not an age gap person. Y'all do y'all thing. Whether I agree or disagree ain't really none of my business because I'm not doing it. Me and my girl are the same age. I'm 32 and she's about to turn 32 at the end of this month. So we the same age, so this ain't got nothing to do with me. But the thing though with us melanated folks, especially black melanated folks, we don't crack. So like, if you really know how to look, they can walk in public, you won't even think twice about it. You won't even think twice, because we just don't crack like that. Like, I'm 32. If I wanted to, and I wouldn't do it, but if I wanted to date a 21-year-old, you wouldn't bat an eye if you saw me in the street and didn't know me. You wouldn't bat an eye. It looked like we could be brother and sister. I'm sorry, that's just black don't crack. It is what it is. It's an unfair advantage. It's the genetics. I'm sorry. I'm just keeping it a buck. But anyway, let's continue.
I've realized that the younger person that is in a huge age gap relationship or whatever the case may be, like a motherfucker is like 10 to 15 to 20 years older than them. I've realized the younger person in those relationships a lot of the times tend to end up with somebody older because their parents were literally fucking immature as fuck. Like, they spent their whole life parenting their parents. Like, they're the ones in a household, like, doing parental things, in a sense. They're the ones that were dealing with, like, emotional stress that their parents were dealing with, way more mature than their parents ever even showed them how to deal with it. They know all the family secrets because they were so young around all of the shit, and they're the ones who actually know how to fix all the family drama. You know what I'm saying? That I feel like a lot of the times they date older because they end up attracting somebody who's older and shows a higher level of maturity than the adults in their lives ever have showed ever in their lives. And I feel like since they were so young parenting adults, they tend to not have the average kid, teenage, adult life because they're way more advanced. A good example is Solange and Beyonce, to be honest. Solange, husband that she divorced was way older than her. Jay-Z is way older than Beyonce.
Two things. One, using celebrities as a good example is a terrible example. Celebrities and people who are in Hollywood live a completely different life than we do. The rules that they have is different than the rules that we have. I'm sorry, they're not. Now, psychologically, it can be some similarities, but because because their life is so drastically different, the psychology on that level hits different because they got different elements and different resources that warp their mind and warp the way they look at life in comparison to the everyday average person. So using celebrities or anybody that's super rich is a terrible example for everyday people. I'm just saying. But anyway, and that's one. But the other thing is, that can be true about, like, if you were very mature for your age and you were the young adult, you were the young kid kind of playing the adult role in your family, I can see how that could be the case in some scenarios, but I think that shifts between men and women. That's what makes it different. Like, with women, that might, with men being like that might work, but with women, maybe not. So for instance, like, I'm a mature dude, right? Like, I've held a lot of responsibility for my age, and I'm even mature for my age even now, even though I'm starting to catch up to my maturity, right? I'm still very mature for my age. Women find maturity attractive. But on the flip side, men find youth typically attractive. So you acting older isn't going to make him more attracted to you. I'm sorry. Most men not looking at it like that. If that's the case, they would just date a woman that's on their own, around their own age, because they would carry the same level of maturity they supposed to as the men, right? So they could just date women their own age if it's about maturity. No, it's about the way you look, baby. That's exactly what it is. It's about how thick them thighs is, how youthful you look. And to some weird niggas like Corey Holcomb, it's about you being able to have a baby super duper duper early. Crazy people are wild, but Corey Holcomb is his own issue, right? But anyway, yeah, don't use celebrities as a good example. They're not good.
At the end of the day, Beyonce, Solange have been child stars since they were young, because this is something that their parents were able to benefit off of for years, down to the point like their parents don't have to do nothing, strictly off the simple fact that these girls have been working since they were 5 years old to put food on the table instead of their parents actually doing it.
Age gap relationships, the pros and the cons. I'm 23 and my husband is 25. I decided to marry someone around my age because the pros just weighed more than the cons. But let's talk about the other side. Hello, my name is Carla and restoring healthy mindsets is my thing. This is honestly personal preference, but if you are going to date older, here are the things that you should know. Let's start with the pros. When you date a guy that's much older than you, I'm talking about 15 to 20 years older than you, it is more alluring because they're more established. And because they're more established, they can offer you more experiences. Second pro,
and that goes along with the power imbalance that I was talking about earlier, that some women like men that have a lot more resources and a lot more experiences in life, because it allows them to kind of just relax and not have to think about life too much. They can kind of just follow his lead. So, because he already done been through the fire already.
more mature. Not always, but most of the time, their emotional intelligence is a lot higher than someone around your age because they have more experience. Third pro, I guess you could say they've already been pre-groomed or pre-poached, where they know how to treat a woman. It's not their first rodeo of being in a relationship. So they might be able to understand you and what pleases you a lot more. The cons, because they're more experienced, it might be easier for them to manipulate you to do things that might be out of your comfort zone.
And I think that's like the main complaint that most people have, that by dating older men or even older women, they able to play different mind games on you that you're just not hip to, because they done been through the ringer enough times to know how to play these mind games or any type of psychological manipulative game, because you're not able to pick up on it as easy as somebody in their own age group. So that's just something to think about, because that is probably the number one complaint that most people have.
Secondly, because they're already used to being with women or in other relationships, it'll be harder for you to mold them the way that you like. For example, taking away a habit that you don't like.
That's true too, because when you're in a relationship with somebody, and I say this all the time, you got to be able to compromise. Well, if you're the younger person in a relationship and you're dating somebody older, because they got more experience than you, they're probably less likely to compromise. And if you don't agree with me, look at your parents. I mean, I know that sounds crazy, like, why are you talking about my parents? But think about it. Just look at your parents. How easy, you tell me how difficult it is to get your parents to compromise on something you saying. If you have a hard time getting your parents to like get out of their own way or to break some of their old bad habits, and you like, Mom, you do this, or Dad, you keep doing this, you think they listening to you? Hell no. They don't want to hear nothing you gotta say. You younger, they think you inexperienced and you got a lot of growing up to do. So you dating somebody older, they're probably gonna treat you the same way. You know, it's just a common thing. That's what's gonna happen. They gonna say, "Hey, I've been through there. I've been there. I've done that. I know what you're saying, but you're looking at it wrong. They're not gonna go for it." So compromising is gonna be less likely to happen when you're dating somebody older. You probably just better off just submitting. I'm just keeping it above.
Third con, they might come with extra baggage. Because they are older, they have more experiences, more life ahead of you, so they might have a little bit of more baggage. But again, this is up to you, what you prefer and what you like. Personally, for me, because I know that I'm more mature, I'm extremely self-aware of the things that I like and the things that I don't like. I knew that if I would marry older, I would be marrying someone 20 to 30 years older than me, because I'm at that level of maturity. But realistically, I don't want that for myself. I needed someone like my husband who was around my age but has so many years of life experience because of his unique story. So I found my balance, and it's about you finding your balance. I hope this helps.
So y'all let me know what y'all think. Me personally, I can add another con to that. And this is the number one con why I won't do it. And it's because I want to be in a lifetime relationship with someone I can call a best friend of mine. Straight up. That's what I want to do. I want to be in a lifetime relationship with somebody I can consider a best friend. And for us to be a best friend, we need to be able to relate on a lot of different things. I don't want to be able to say something and you like, oh, I wasn't around for that. I don't want to be able to have certain experience. Like me and my girl, we talking about his nostalgic stuff all the time. We talked about, it was this one meme that, and it was funny. Like she was sitting on the couch one day and she was reading on her Kindle because she be reading books a lot. She be reading on her Kindle. And the way she was sitting, I was like, you look like that one girl from that meme that with the glasses, and that's all I had to say. And she just busted out laughing because she knew exactly what I was talking about. Moments like that, or like when we was talking about, I remember back when Tumblr was a thing, and now she remember like how she used to set her Tumblr up or her MySpace account. Like we remember those things because we lived through that. Or we talked about Blockbuster or things of that nature, you know what I mean? Because we remember those things. And granted, to you, that shit might not be that important. But to me, it is. I want to be able to relate on a lot of different things. We talked about shit like Rocket Power, stuff like all like Blue's Clues, all old shit, because we just grew up. We 94 babies. We grew up the same age, right? So we experience a lot of the same things. That's also why I don't date anybody that's not black, because for the same reason that I want to share the same culture as you. Things that I get, I want you to laugh at it because it's an insider thing. If I can't share that with you, the most we can do is bone. And I ain't boning because I'm in a relationship, so I don't do none of that. But that's the most that would have happened, you know what I mean? But to each his own, y'all do your thing, but y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. What's a big age gap for you? For me, again, I'm 32. I couldn't do no more than like 26, and that's pushing it. I really would be in like if I'm 32, sweet spot really like 28 at the youngest. I really want, but I got it good. My girl 32, so I ain't got nothing to worry about. We the same age as she what she about to be anyway. So that being said, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Make sure y'all hit the like and subscribe button. Join the Prosper Gang. We're keeping it PG. There's a whole lot of prosperity going on around this mother, you feel me? And remember, there's nothing impossible. Today we try. So next time I'm out,